Where exactly will Treydan Stukes line up for the Las Vegas Raiders? After being selected 38th overall in the 2026 NFL Draft, the former Arizona Wildcat defensive back has everyone debating his true position. Is he a ball hawking safety, or does his elite 4.33 speed make him the ultimate NFL nickelback?
If you want to chase championships, you want to chase wins, you want to chase rings, you have to be held to the highest standard. Like it starts in phase two, and then it starts in phase three OTAs. You don't become a championship team. When the playoffs get here.
Welcome to Business Decision Sports. It's your boy Black, the quarterback, back with another installation of the bar at the Bay Area Raiders Talk. And today we talking Treydan Stukes. So in this video, we're going to break down his college film, analyze his elite closing speed, and look at how his positional flexibility changes the dynamic of the Raiders secondary. We're going to discuss the value of his hybrid defensive back skills in today's NFL, where he can make the biggest immediate impact. So if you love deep diving, analytical type content and breakdowns, make sure y'all go and join the sub club and hit the you feel me right underneath there. And make sure you hit that notification bell. You seen it, Stukes. So saying you gotta win championship. You start winning the championship in the offseason. It don't happen after you start winning games and seeing is believing and going and taking the hit of hopium and hope we end up in the playoffs and then hope we end up in the Super Bowl. That's not how it happened. The works get done in the offseason. Like he said, phase two, then phase three, and then you play games, and you already got to have that belief. We're gonna go ahead and just debunk this whole he's a nickel cornerback thing, because everyone's saying, why did we sign a nickel back when we needed a safety? And we got him in the second round. So, like the Hall of Famer, EA, Eric Allen, cornerback. So, if anybody's going to know anything about cornerbacking, it's going to be my boy EA. So, let's get into it and make sure y'all hit that like button so we can get this video in the algorithm and get the rest of the nation on board. Let's get it.
The way this guy plays, he's kind of like a joker, middle of the field football player. Does an amazing job of being all over the field. Tells me that he understands route combinations, comfortable enough to know that he can undercut that deep out route and come up with the big time play.
Yeah, on that deep out route, you see him guarding a lot of space and the man cut and showing man coverage. He keeping his leverage, and he looked for the ball, and it stuck to him because of his flawless technique.
Now we're going to see if he can play some zone. And of course, he's on the stretch. He's on the outside edge playing cover two, so that means he has deep half. You have to kind of sort through this stacked bunch here, and the corner's going to take that outside route. That's safety. You need to expand, and you have to make that play at great range for this young man.
Now take a look at this. He's playing cover two in the zone right now. And the thing about it is you have to cover a lot of space if you're in that cover two. You got to make sure you don't get beat on the post. And this is a good cover two beater, the post corner, which is my favorite route running as a wide receiver. And watch how he shows great body control. He finished the play with excellent mano-a-mano skills. You see that? See how he's looking for the ball? He's already looking for the ball. Body control, knocks the ball down, mano-a-mano skills. One thing that Charles Woodson says is, you ask, why don't corners get a lot of interceptions nowadays? And he said simply because they don't look for the ball.
My biggest pet peeves is guys don't turn around and find the ball.
They're playing the man, they want to run up, and then when the wide receiver lifts his hands, then you want to put your hands in between, or you want to knock the ball away.
Man, fuck them hands, man.
Or you watching for the receiver eyes to get big so you can try to put your arms in the way. Receivers are getting better. I know I was really good at having what I call lazy eyes. Like when you're looking for the ball, you're not You don't want your eyes to get big because he's reacting off of you. Also, you want to have late hands. You don't want to throw your hands up early because then he's knowing it's time to put the arms in there. Ideally, you want to go up and get the ball, but if you are going to put your hands out like that, make sure you have late hands. So that's a good thing for him that we see that he's a ball hawker. He's looking for the ball, and as you look at his videos and his clips, that's a constant.
Our next clip here. We're talking about a guy who's all over the football field. Let's run this tape and just see again how explosive he can be. We have to be stout on the running game. Again, the one critique I have is in the National Football League, man, you're going to have to go a little lower. We're going to wrap those legs because the guys up here, they want you to try and go up high. But again, showing you that he makes plays in the backfield.
Yeah, he definitely reads, react, and respond. You see his feet was moving. He wasn't taking false steps. He was reading the play. Eyes was open. And then once he saw it was a run, he attacked the line of scrimmage. Read, react, and respond. You read the play, you react, trust your eyes, and then you respond by closing out and making the play, making the tackle, stopping the guy behind the line of scrimmage. So one thing EA did say is he wants him to work on his pad level. That's a knock that he needs to work on, and he's going to address that later. So make sure y'all stay tuned.
This is an amazing play by our new safety. Come up to play action.
Call that play one up top.
One up top, Aki, some stocky in the choppy, fat Wally for Brodowski off of Oxy, Betty Moppy.
And I'll call this guy the Big Cat. I think that's the nickname I want to give him, the Big Cat. Make an athletic play and catches the ball. Like I said, you know that they say DBs are wide receivers that can't catch. And he definitely went up and caught the ball at his highest point. That's why the receiver should go up and get the ball to contest it. But if you want to be lazy as a receiver and want the ball to drop in your hand like in the bread basket, this is where you go and get the ball as a defender. When that ball is in the air and 50-50, nah, it's more like 90-10. And that was a mentality you got to have as a cornerback or a safety when the ball is in the air. If the Hall of Famer EA, he already called him a safety. He said it's our new safety. Like, we need to go ahead and stop being so, I don't know what the word is, sensitive about what he was drafted as on paper. If you notice, a lot of the trend that we have going on is we're picking players that can play multiple positions, versatility, no different than Treydan. You heard Coach Kubiak say yesterday. He got this guy because he know he can play all 5 positions. Same thing with your boy Stukes. Sure, he did play nickel. Yeah, he played nickel. He played nickel before he got injured primarily, and then he played a lot of safety too. They played like a 3-back safety system, so he has the versatility to do both. And he majority played safety. Well, I'll say 47% of the time at safety. So he definitely has the range. He has the ability, and shown on tape, it shows that he actually has the ability to cover. Unlike the position we put Malu in last year, which is a strong safety, but we wanted him to play more free safety. And it was an adjustment period for him, and his cover skills is not the same as Stukes. So I'm glad to see that we did pick this guy in the second round. I think it was a very competent draft pick, and I think he's going to really put us on the map and also help us close that gap and that space and that void that we had from losing Merrick because of essentially a salary situation. We couldn't afford to keep paying him the money that Carolina did. So we did get us a replacement. Now let's see if he lives up to the hype. Now, Just Win did an interview with Stukes. It was a real good interview. I really like this offseason that people are taking time to get to know the players, not just hearing little clips about who this person is or what this person is about. Same thing that happened to Coach Robbie. A lot of people didn't understand or like that hire, but he ended up coming in and getting a few people from the nation on his side because they start understanding his history and what he stood for and why the players love him. So here's a center view of our boy Treydan Stukes. Once again, straight up, shout out to Just Win podcast for the interview. Oh, wait. Before I do that, though, I want to show you what Coach Kubiak said, since people don't want to believe what position he plays.
Treydan Stukes, his versatility in the secondary, what kind of key piece is he going to be?
You said Stukes? Yeah, that's why we drafted him. Very similar to Trey Zoon, a guy that can play a lot of spots, a guy that has leadership, and those are all the things he did in college. But now he's got to go show it at this level. He's off to a good start. And when he walks out there, he's dialed in. He knows what to do, and he's a guy that just kind of finds his way around the ball.
Yeah, see, a lot of high expectations for this guy. Coach Koob said already that he's looking for a leader. He's looking for a captain.
You can be a captain here too. I know you've been a captain 3 different times. We need another captain here. What do you think? Whatever you need, Coach. I got you. All right, man. We believe in you.
This guy's been a captain playing in college, so the expectation is the same, if not more, at the higher level. So let's take a look at this interview of our boy Treydan Stukes.
Like my position was called Fieldcat back at Arizona this past year. And it's kind of like it's almost like a 3 safety shell look. It gives me a lot of opportunities. I was usually playing to the field side. I rolled down into some nickel spots, do a lot of the, nickel techniques that I had been doing, for the past couple seasons. And then it also gave me a chance to back up and play some free safety. Play some quarters, play some cover 2, even get in the middle and play some post. And I think that gave me an opportunity to show that, I'm able to learn them all, which is one side of it. And, I have the physical capability to play them all. That versatility gave me a good chance to make plays in that defense. And, going forward, I think it just gives me the option, to stay on the field. Like, there's a lot of packages. There's a lot of, like, the NFL's a matchup league. And, when you can do multiple things, it allows you to stay on the field and still contribute and, help the defense, win the play, win the down, win the series, and win the game. So I think, just getting that versatility back at Arizona is going to give me a chance to be able to learn and be able to play multiple positions at this level and, stay on the field to keep affecting our defense and opposing offenses.
Wildcat, Fieldcat, Big Cat, it don't matter. We got a cat in there. We got a big dog up in there, like a big cat. I ain't talking about the little meow meows. I'm talking about like the big cats. You know what I'm talking about. So his ability to have a bunch of versatility is going to work in our favor. Swiss Army knife. One thing I'm trying to get people to understand: let's not get caught up so much on who's starting. It's going to be about packages. Who's going to be able to show I'm the guy in this package, or I belong in this package. So that way, if they try certain things and certain downs and certain distances, and we put certain packages in there of certain people in certain packages, then we can get the results that we want. And I think Stukes is going to be one of them guys. I think actually it's going to be a few guys like that in our secondary. And I think it's going to be a who's who of our defense, because 1 week is going to be Stukes, another week is going to be Johnson, another weekend might be McCoy make a couple plays, and don't forget our boy Red Stokes. You hear me? So, hey, I think our defense is going to shock a lot of people. Our defense is going to shock a lot of people. But in the NFL, it's the best of the best. And if you don't have the ability to play multiple positions, then you're limiting how much you are going to be able to stay on the field. And this kid, or this young man, he really, really trying to find his way on the field, and I don't have any doubt that he will. Here's a question that everybody want to talk about: what's his best position, free safety or cornerback? And this is what he had to say.
I honestly, just at this point, I really don't have a preference for one or the other. Like, I feel super comfortable, super confident playing some safety and playing some nickel. I played a lot of nickel at Arizona. I didn't play as much safety, like I only did it this past season. But I felt really confident back there, seeing things develop in front of me and being able to break on footballs and make plays on the ball, kind of read through receivers and see the quarterbacks throwing, see the hand come off the ball, that type of thing. So I think I'll have a chance to be effective at either one. And I really don't have a preference at this point yet.
And what people are maybe not understanding is the advantage of being able to play that nickel guy, that nickel back, because those receivers are very elusive. It helps you with your coverage, and it helps you with your man-to-man skills, your mano-y-manos, when you're in that nickel. So the fact that he got a lot of reps at nickel is good, and we know he can cover. Versus if he was let's say really good or very good or like proficient at coverage, but his man-to-man skills was lacking a little bit. And then that's when you get the wide receivers that can get loose or whatnot, like similar to Hunter Renfro was doing. It makes it a little more difficult. But being that he has a lot of reps at nickel, he knows what he's seeing, he can trust his eyes, and he can make plays because of essentially what we want is turnovers at that position. I tell people that's hard to do, very hard to create turnovers on defense, especially in the secondary ones, because you gotta like really pay attention. The corner don't know where the receiver is going, but the receiver knows, and the quarterback knows. So for us to get a turnover out the secondary, it take real astute players. So I think this young man is one of them. Playing nickel is an advantage for him, because look at Palomalo. Being that he lacked his cover skills, he got exposed in the secondary. Not to say he wouldn't have got better this year in his second year, which I'm sure he will get some time back there. I'm pretty sure we're not going to totally just take out his experience from last year. I mean, you got to get paid for what he was getting burnt last year. So I'm sure he got those things in his mind, and then he was working. He started to work on some of them things if he wants to be on the field, because surprisingly to me, not shocking, but surprisingly, Jeremy Chin came in and played very, very, very solid. I knew he was going to be good if we used him right, if we used him like as a box safety where he doesn't have to cover a lot. Once I saw that, I knew that he was being set up for success. So much success that he pretty much played Palomalo out of a job, right? Because now a lot of people are saying Palomalo might either go to the bench, or they're saying that he might not even be a Raider, which I think is insane. But hey, whatever. People think what they think. I'm not going to tell you how to Raider until it happens or it don't happen. So I just think that him playing nickel really, really is going to help him a lot in this transition from being a rookie and just trying to hit the ground running and not make as many mistakes. This is where he's going to show his smarts. What is the difference between playing like a boundary corner and your nickel coverage?
Most obvious one is just kind of like the receiver body type. You go against outside guys, they're your taller, big catch radius guys, long speed guys, and then you come inside and it's usually your twitchier athletes. They are really sudden out of their cuts and that type of thing. And then like as far like more little nuances, it's just like a technical thing. Like you play a lot more press man, playing outside corner. You work that in that in the NFL. You got to understand the cutoff for pressing. You can only get 5 yards to reroute and that type of thing. So it changes like leverages, knowing where your help is. If you have a middle safety, if you have a low hole player playing at nickel, then you can play outside leverage and use your help to your advantage. When you're outside at corner, you may not have that same help. You might have to cover both ways, and you might be by yourself unless you get like a post or something that goes right to the middle safety. So just understanding those little type of things, and understanding where your help is, understanding how to use it, what leverage to take, and executing your job and going forward.
Yeah, I really like that the way he break it down because you got to understand your strengths and your weaknesses. If you're on the outside, so a lot of times you're gonna be on an island, and that's usually your best corners. I think Stokes is going to be that guy this year. He showed that he was able to play on that island. So we're hoping. No, I have faith in him that he's going to continue to play at that level because he found a home. He likes it here, obviously. And whenever you feel good, you play good. You know, if you look good, you play good. That's true. If you look good, you feel good. If you feel good, you play good. And if you play good, you get paid good. You know who said that. And put it in the chat if y'all know who said that. So, yeah, I like the fact that he's a cerebral player. He's smart. He has athleticism. He has speed and he has good he was raised really really well and you can see that and we're bringing in a lot of character guys and guys that's hardworking that's ready to learn and ready to take this franchise to the next level, so you guys should be very very excited. I'm very excited about what I'm seeing, and I'm seeing the changes that we're making. I'm telling people over and over, as long as y'all will listen, we win championships from the top down, not the player up. It's starting to trickle down now. We're seeing that we got the Spy Tech doing his thing, the Spy Hunter. Then we got TB12 with his hands on things. You see it. People are upset that Mendoza's not starting. We're taking our time. We're doing the things the right way. We got Ice Kubiak, obvious genius in on the offense, and you can see how he's running our organization, all even up to the OTAs right now, earning your shield, things like that, things that we have not seen in a long time. Matter of fact, things that a lot of y'all haven't seen ever being a Raider fan. But I've been a Raider fan. I've been a Raider for a long time, so I've seen a lot of things. So I'm just trying to show you guys, like, hey, we're starting to turn the corner. All that faith y'all had last year, now y'all hoping that we good. Nah, use that faith y'all had last year and the faith we had with AP and bring it on out and put it on this. I'm telling y'all, this is Vegas. I'm trying to tell y'all want to win big, you got to put it on there. You can't go a little bit at a time hoping you win because you're going to get busted that way. So I am telling y'all right now, the Raiders is doing their thing. I think every player or most players, I know as a player, I had players I patterned my game after. When I was playing wide receiver, first team all conference, you know what I mean? Uh, I patterned my game after Tim Brown. I actually got to meet Tim Brown and everything at my school, and it just made me feel even better about him being my comp, my player comp. So I really like Tim Brown. And then when I played corner, my player comp was Charles Woodson. Let's see who Treydan Stukes patterned his game after.
My favorite corner growing up was actually Asante Samuel when he was in Philly. I used to watch a lot of his games. He was a big time playmaker down there. I used to watch Denzel Ward a lot, and he's a freak athlete, and he used to make some crazy plays playing outside corner. I've enjoyed watching Kyle Hamilton.
Okay.
He's a really versatile player, and he's able to affect games in so many different ways. And I think that's a model defensive back.
How many of y'all know about Asante Samuels? What y'all know about Asante Samuels? You know, what I like about a player that compare himself or model his game after a player like Asante Samuels, he could affect the game on three levels. He can affect it from the safety position, the safety, the corner, the boundary corner position, and the nickelback position. And one thing I loved about Asante Samuels, I know that he came out and he was saying, like, Dion is dope, but I'm dope too. And I think a lot of people were sleeping on Asante. He was like one of the original dreadheads. That's what I was calling him back in the day, was one of the original dreadheads. Remember when a quarterback would throw an interception and then somebody with dreads would run by, intercept it, and be gone. Dreads in the wind. Original Dreadhead, Asante Samuel. If you got some time, go on YouTube and watch how he plays. He's very opportunistic. He tries to go after the ball. The nation has called. They said we want turnovers. We got us a guy that is ball hawking, chicken hawking.
Chicken? Gosh, I'm a chicken hawk.
Asante Samuel's not a bad person to model your game after. And then he also named, I'm not going to say the other team because we still might be feeling some type of way about the Max thing. But if you look at KH, you can see that if he wants to model his game after him like that, then that's only positive. You feel me? So shout out to those players. I do like those players. Now, this is a center view, not highlights, not interviewing just the best things. What I really, really liked about these guys at the Just Win podcast, they asked them, what are some things that you need to work on? And this is what he said.
Focusing on my pad level, making sure I'm down. You know, these backs are really good. They're the best in, you know, the nation, probably the world. You got to make sure that you're hitting with the right part of your body, you know, your shoulder, chest up, eyes up, whatever, all that stuff. Getting confident at this level, you know, and not sitting back there dwelling on, you know, thinking about too much. Just allowing myself to, you know what I'm doing, know what we're trying to accomplish, and then going out there and playing ball. Because you know it's football. At the end of the day, there's a lot of moving parts. But you know, when you're confident and you're playing freely, that's when you're playing your best stuff. So yeah, just developing that, getting confident, getting comfortable, and
Either he's very self-aware about himself, either he listened to EA, either it's all of the above. This young man, he gets it. And you understand, you got to get that pad level down. Otherwise, you're going to get ran over like in this intro that I have where like Genty run these guys over. That's why a lot of these guys get ran over because they think Vinny is a small guy and they run up to him and just try to tackle him and just bully him. Nah, you can't do that at this level, especially the elite running backs, or you're going to be on a highlight or you're going to be on an intro. So shout out to Stukes for being aware of that, and that's something to work on. Just get a little bit lower. Take them knees out, grab them legs. They can't go nowhere without no wheels. So grab them legs, brother. What does being a Raider mean to him up until this point? And how does he feel about how does he feel about Kubiak, and how does he feel about Rob Leonard, Coach Robbie, and he really gave us some insight. So check it out.
the Raiders have always been known for their, you know, tough physicality. You know, back in the day, they was a little dirty, and they embraced it. That's kind of the mindset that I've seen since I've been here. To be honest, like it is like they really do embrace it. You know, the silver and black is different from the other 31 teams, and you know, there's a lot of players that have come through, a lot of coaches, a lot of managers that have come through that are, you know, the best at what they've done, and there's going to be some big shoes to fill. There's been a lot of good defensive backs that have played, you know, when they were back in Oakland, and you know, now that they're in Vegas, it's been really cool to get to know more about Raiders history. You know, we've been going through a little bit since we've been up here, and it's really cool to get to know what's been going on, you know, in all the years leading up to this one. So Coach Kubiak is, you know, he's a pioneer of that. You know, he's leading that. He's making sure we understand, you know, what it means to wear that crest on our chest and on our helmet. That's just an ode to him as a coach. You know, I think he's smart. He's detail oriented. He's process oriented, and you know, he's putting together a good squad. And you know, he's not trying to like wait. You know, we're trying to do it right.
Yeah.
And you know,
How many people caught that? He ain't trying to wait. I understand he's telling the nation that, all right, this is a building process, which is true. It's true, right? But if he comes out and say, we're trying to win now, then everybody gonna do like they did last year when Pete Carroll said, hey, I won 10 games every year. We thought that meant we were gonna win 10 games. No, what he was saying was, look, if y'all give me time, I'll get us to the point where we could win 10 games. But we got so frantic about it. So now Coach Koob is not even playing his hand like that. He's saying this is a building process. But you could tell by the way we're moving, we're not trying to like I heard, we're not trying to start Kirk Cousins 12 games and then be in the race for the top 5 picks and then throw in Mendoza, and that way if we only win a couple games, we still get a top draft pick. That is not what we're doing. That is not the mentality. Matter of fact, that's not even a championship mentality. That's not a win mentality, so I don't see that to be what we're trying to do. I see us trying to win games now, and I do think that our floor should be 6 games. Our floor should be 6 games and up to 8. 6, 7, or 8 will be good. That's winning now. That is winning now. And then next year we could build off that. If we get 6 games wins this year, 7 games this year, then that means we should be pushing for playoffs the following year. And if we don't get it the following year, we definitely should be in that thing the third year, which is building, which it usually takes about 3 years to turn a franchise around with the draft picks and coaching changes and head office readjustments and things like that. I think we are on a I won't say a fast track, but we're definitely ahead of the curve, and we should be able to see that because we've been behind the curve for so long that we should be excited about that. Not overly excited, not we're going to win 10 games. If you believe that, that's fine. I'm not opposed to that. But at the end of the day, don't have this expectation that if we don't do that, then our season is a failure to some degree. I think if we double our games, that'll show we're on the right path, and then we can just go from there. So I think he tipped his hand right there, Coach Koob's hand, which I'm not mad at because that's the mentality I want our players to have. We trying to do it right now. So it ain't nothing to sit back about and just try to, go along and hopefully one day it shows up. We're trying to win now. Well, we're trying to win starting now. I won't say we're not trying to win now, but we're trying to start to win now.
He's been super good for us rookies. It's been good to have him as a resource and have him be the leader of this organization because you can just tell what he's about his business, and we're going to get after it while he's the head of the snake. And it's kind of the same thing with Coach Leonard. He's a super smart guy. He knows exactly what we're trying to accomplish on defense, and he's holding us to a high standard, and that's what we need. If you want to chase championships, you want to chase wins, you want to chase rings, you have to be held to the highest standard. Like it starts in phase 2 and then it starts in phase 3 OTAs. You don't become a championship team, when the playoffs get here. So he's been doing a great job, getting the rookies up to speed and holding us to that standard that, he's holding to the veterans too also. So we all understand, what we're trying to get done here, and we're all pouring everything we got into it. So, we're gonna get after it this year.
So we're gonna get after it this year. And that championship mindset starts now. It starts now. It doesn't start after you start winning games and then you want to get confident about it. You have to put in the work that you know is required. And if you don't know what's required, you got to bring in people that knows what's required. And obviously, Coach Koob understands what is required. The Raider franchise, our old franchise, understood what it took and what it required. So we're starting to go back to that. And I'm very, very excited about that. And I really hope you guys really understand that we are definitely in the building when it comes to that.